Yo, it's your boy D's Media back again with another video. Today we're gonna talk about Pooda LaFlair, man. He exposed Lil Durk, man, about lying from being from Lamron. And also he was saying that Lil Durk lied about giving Tay-Town 500,000. Let's jump straight into it. Pooda LaFlair, man, it's no secret that him and Durk been at odds for years. Pooda LaFlair pretty much broke down his personal issue with Durk. He also let it be known that the reason he got a problem with Durk is way more personal. But he said pretty much, man, when he was a shorty and Durk and Keith and all them started popping off rapping, he said that he came to his house and snatched him. He said he was on tour with Durk, for a couple years. He said just following Dirt around. He said when he had his legs, pretty much Dirt was using them as for muscle. Let's be honest with you. Pooda LaFlair said he got off tour, went to the gas station for his mom. Shots got to getting fired. He ended up getting hit in the he ended up getting hit in the back and ended up rupturing his spinal cord, and that made him paralyzed. He pretty much said from that day forward, Lil Durk started acting funny to him. He said he went from hanging with him every day, protecting him, to he won't even answer his phone when he was in the hospital, And Pooda LaFlair said, that hurt more than anything. He don't really care about why Chubbs and Lil Reese and all of them got a problem with him. He don't care. He said the issue that he got with him is he felt like Dirt left him for stuck. Like, I was only good to you when I had my legs. And I can understand where Pooda LaFlair coming from. That'll genuinely hurt somebody, man. If you think somebody your dog, and while you able to walk, you with this person going on tours, going to different states, hopping on planes together, and the moment, you get shot and go paralyzed, that man stopped calling you. He don't send you no money to help out with your bills and your new child you just had. He just forget about you. I can understand where Pooda LaFlair, his hurt come from with Lil Durk. Because if that is true and that's how the situation went down, that's kind of bogus. But I do get that Lil Durk was a rising star at this time. So maybe, he had to go certain places. He wasn't able to hurry up and fly home to Chicago. But your man's with nothing but a phone call away and a bank transfer away. But I do got to give Lil Durk a little sympathy. Durk was not established financially or musically how he is right now. You got to think, at this time, Keith was the bigger artist. Herb was considered a bigger artist than Lil Durk at this time. Durk didn't have the type of money, the assets, the pool, all of that he got now. I believe if he had the type of money he had now back then, when Pooda got hit up and went paralyzed, from the bottom of my heart, I feel like Durk would have looked out for him. But Durk didn't have that type of money. He ain't had them big Cuban chains and $300,000-$400,000 Richard Mille watch. He didn't have none of that back then. He had that small ass OTF chain. You know what I'm saying? This is when he was signed to Def Jam. Durk didn't have the type of money he had now. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he did what he could do, but he ain't have it. But one of the main things that he was talking about was he said Lil Durk was never from Lamron 300. He said he originally from 72nd and Dog Pound. He said he started coming in the area because him and Tasky, which is who they named Tay-Town after. They say that him and Durk, was best friends, which is pictures on the internet of them two being best friends. So he said pretty much that was how he ended up coming on Lamron 300, was because he started hanging out on Tay-Town. He said Lil Durk never stayed on Lamron 300. He said Lil Durk stayed on Dog Pound. He said he never had a crib on Lamron or Tay-Town. He just will always be over people's house. But he said he never stayed on Lamron 300. He originally from Dog Pound. He never was Lamron 300. He started coming around the guys when he started hanging around Tay-Town, and he just migrated. His exact words was he migrated to Lamron 300. But years down the line, Durk became one of the popping artists from that area, But as we can see years down the line, they not claiming Durk. And now I see why. Because he was not originally from Lamron. See, they made it seem like Durk was originally from Lamron. I did hear about the Dog Pound, that Durk was originally from Dog Pound, but Ever since Keith popped off, all I heard Durk say was 300, 300, 300, 300, 300. You know, he took 300 Lamron, you know, him, Keith, and Reese, and they made that, and Fredo too, and they made that a global name, 300 Lamron, you know? But the one thing that I gotta say is I feel like Lamron 300 turned their back on Durk because Durk wasn't no longer an asset to what they had going on. You know, if Durk would have still been buying cars, giving money, signing people, doing all of that stuff, Lamron is still look at him like a hometown hero. You know, but because there's certain individuals that he don't really mess with no more, Dirt ain't really messing with 300 Lamron no more. But now I see why he chose Tay-Town over Lamron 300, because Tay-Town was his introduction to the hood. If he'd have never been hanging out on Tay-Town and messing with Taysky and all of that, he'd have never would have migrated to Lamron 300. He would have just been between Dog Pound and Tay-Town. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, now I see why those dudes turned their back on him in the heartbeat. And now I see why Tay-Town opened their arms in the heartbeat. Like 300 Lamron said, oh yeah, Dirt, you banned over here. You can't come over here. You know, you ain't good over here. The first thing Tay-Town said was, oh, you good over here? You could pull up over here. You know, now it makes sense because he originally, that's how he got the Lamron 300, was from hanging out on Tay-Town and being from Dog Pound, you know. But from way to way, he made it seem like to the world, you know, it was like he went from Dog Pound to Lamron 300, and that was it. You know, I never knew that Lil Durk was not original member, you know. But you got to give him his credit for putting Lamron 300 on the map. But those dudes over there, they don't care about that, you know. They let it be known that if you either OTF or you Lamron 300, but you can't be both. You know what I'm saying? You either Tay-Town and OTF or you Lamron 300. You can't be both. But the way Pooda broke it down, I said, now I see why these dudes turned their back on Lil Durk in a heartbeat. You know, because 4-5 years ago, everything was cool, or at least it wasn't publicly known. You know, everything was cool. Durk was taking motherfuckers to Atlanta. You know, they driving in his cars, they in his videos, they in his music videos. Like he buying them jewelry. You know, he's signing artists. He doing all this stuff for the BDs. And then I'm like, man, why would Lamron 300 turn their back on him? Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it, he looked at as the bag right now, you know what I'm saying? So people probably in their feelings that Dirt ain't doing what he's supposed to do. You know, when people feel obligated to your success if they felt like they helped you out on the road. So Lamron 300 feel like we gave you that look in the city that made you become who you is. If it wasn't for Lamron 300, you wouldn't have had that look and that buzz throughout Chicago. We made you look like that. So in retrospect, those guys is looking at Dirt like, technically, bro, we if it wasn't for us, bro, you wouldn't be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Because first, you got to be protected in Chicago to even be a rapper. You can't just be talking all that gangster stuff and don't have no hood behind you or don't have no protection behind you. You know, so I feel like Lamron 300 in the beginning was Lil Durk protection, you know. But when they realizing that Durk don't want to give him this, or Durk tell you no, or he don't answer his phone on this day or that day, it just went left. But when Pooda the Flair broke it down, he said he was never originally from Lamron 300. Now it makes sense why those dudes is shiesty like that to him and treated him like a snake. Because, bro, you ain't originally from here. You went from Dog Pound to Tay-Town, and Tay-Town introduced you to Lamron because we so close. That's how he ended up on Lamron 300, you know? And that's crazy that Pooda LaFlair, when he broke it down like that, I said, now it makes sense why those dudes turned their back on Lil Durk like that so quick. It's like, they ain't waste no time, no nothing. Like, all right, you can't do this for me. All right, you bad. You can't come over here. You know, like he said in the song, you know, I shot Back in Blood on the same block they told me I couldn't come on. Where did he shoot Back in Blood at? On Lamron 300, 64th and Normal. So that would have meant that he was talking about his own people, banned him, you know? And I'm going to say this again. I felt like They feel some type of way at Durk because if they wouldn't have protected Durk and gave him that name and that protection, he would have never made it out of Chicago to become a rapper, you know? So I feel like they entitled to some of his success, or they feel like what he did do for the block wasn't enough, how they helped him out, you know? But at the end of the day, man, when you become successful, you're gonna have people that feel like they entitled to your success because 3 years ago they loaned you $5 when you needed some gas. So they feel like now you owe them $50,000. Like people entitlement nowadays is crazy, you know? But I see both sides of the story now. Thanks to Pooda breaking it down. The dude's not originally from Lamron 300. The dude was hanging out in Tay-Town and just migrated over there to Lamron 300. Started rapping. Those dudes adapted him, took him in, you know, and he became one of the biggest artists to ever come out of that side of town, if you ask me. Besides Keith, you know. But once again, I wish Durk the best. I wish Pooda LaFlair the best. I wish Tay-Town, Dog Pound, Lamron 300 the best. But Pooda LaFlair, you know, he broke it down, his issues that he got with Lil Durk. You know, he said his issues with Lil Durk is a little bit more personal, like I broke down earlier in this live. You know, Pooda LaFlair feel like Lil Durk, you know, when he was buzzing and he was rapping, you know, he snatched up Pooda LaFlair and THF Muda, you know, for protection. You know, he wanted them to be his shooters, you know. And the moment that Pooda LaFlair got into his situation and he went paralyzed, Durk turned his back on him. And that hurt him, you know. You was with a guy every day protecting him for the last few years. You know, y'all flying on planes, y'all going to Atlanta, y'all going to Cali, y'all blowing up, you know. And then as soon as you lose your legs, that person turn their back on you. That same number that you called a week ago when you had your legs and he answered on the first ring, now he ain't answering that all. Or, you know, you was able to get in contact with him. Now he acting like he don't know you. So I can understand Pooda LaFlair, man, because if somebody use you to that capacity, that'll hurt you, man. That'll make you feel like, dang, bro, like the guys don't mess with me no more because I ain't got my legs. Like I'm still Pooda, you know. I still got the same heart, the same everything, bro. You know, I still got my mind, everything. I'm still him. You know, I just ain't mobile how I used to be. And now to make you resent somebody, and now to make you dislike somebody, and now to make you make a diss song like Pooda did, you know? If you felt like somebody used you for protection, you know, and you helped them out, you was standing on business when y'all was on the road, and the moment you lose your legs in an accident, or shooting, my bad, you know, this person don't answer their phone, they don't come and check on you, you know, tour coming up, they don't come get you for the tour no more how they used to, you know, that'll hurt you, you know, that would hurt you. So I understand Pooda LaFlair, if that's the situation with Durk and Durk really did that, I can understand why he got an attitude and a problem with Lil Durk, man. You know, I could definitely understand that. But at the end of the day, man, a lot of those dudes feel like they're entitled to Lil Durk's success, man, because they helped them out a lot on the way. I'm going to say this again. There's nowhere in the world that you could be from Chicago and talk and rap about certain stuff that Lil Durk did in the beginning and now, and not have a block, a hood, or a nation behind you protecting you. 300 Lamron was Lil Durk protection, whether if he want to admit it or not, you know. Maybe not now. Maybe he ran up the street to Tay-Town and maybe they his protection now. But when Durk first came out, those Lamron 300 dudes was putting their life on the line so that Durk can get to his shows, get home, all of that, you know? Durk wouldn't have made it out of Chicago if it wasn't for Lamron 300. So for that case, bro, you do owe those boys, and you should make it right with them, bro. All of y'all should make it right. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't have made it without them, and they wouldn't have made it without you. You see, without you, they stuck on Lamron 300 on 64th and Normal, and you see without them, bro, you can't go back to Chicago to your old neighborhood and all of that, you know? But it's your boy D's Media signing out. Y'all let me know what y'all think.